Good afternoon. I'm Madeline Grolman.
I'm Brennan Flato, and this is the voice of Duquesne Live. Now in sports. The Duquesne women's golf team headed to Orlando, Florida to take part in the 2026 Atlantic 10 Championship. The competition is currently underway and will be wrapping up tonight. The team currently sits in fourth place through 2 rounds of play.
The Duquesne women's rowing team continued its spring season this past Saturday at George Washington Invitational for the first time in program history. The first event was a duel between the Varsity 8 of Duquesne and the host Revolutionaries at 11:15 a.m. The Dukes crossed the finish buoys 8 seconds behind GW. Later in the afternoon, for their second race of the day, the Dukes fought hard during a duel against Georgetown, finishing only 1.91 seconds behind. This earned the Dukes the closest race of the day. The final day for the Dukes was to start off in the first varsity race against George Washington. The Dukes were able to stay competitive throughout and most of the race, even closed the gaps between George Washington times before ultimately failing. I think we took a big step forward this weekend as a team, and that's what we want to see in the thick of the racing season, head coach Matt Carlson said after the meet. The Dukes will look to continue their momentum into their next meet this Saturday at Eastern Michigan.
The Duquesne men's and women's track and field teams enjoyed successful weekends at the ECAC and IA 4A championships this past weekend. They captured 15 total medals, including 10 gold throughout the competitions. On the final day, the Dukes secured 8 medals, including 6 golds, while the women's team placed third overall with 112.5 points. Junior Anna Rohr once again led the charge for the women's team as she was named ECAC Most Outstanding Performer after winning 3 gold medals, capturing titles in the 100-meter hurdles and the 400-meter hurdles, while also running on the first-place team in the 4x400-meter relay. Eva Leatherman earned silver in the 400-meter hurdles with a time just over 1 minute and ran the anchor leg on the winning 4x400-meter relay team. Sophomore Rose Kuchera claimed gold in the triple jump for the second consecutive year, recording a mark of 12.35 meters. On the men's side, freshman Nick Keller ran the fastest 400 meters in program history, clocking a 47.17 second time to claim gold and surpass David Williams' previous record of 47.22 seconds set last season. The Dukes are back in action next Saturday at the St. Francis Father Beat Invitational, before heading to the Atlantic 10 Outdoor Championships on May 2nd and the 3rd.
The Duquesne men's tennis team played their final regular season game against St. Joseph on Friday, dropping to a 7-10 on the season. Duquesne showed fight in the game as Alfredo Vogler came back from a set loss to win his singles game, and 2 out of the 3 doubles teams won their respective games. But this was only enough to cut the loss to 4-2 in the match. The Dukes will now look to the A10 Championships in Orlando to try to bounce back from the loss as they take on Dayton in the first round. The women's tennis team wrapped up their regular season by putting on a dominant performance last weekend as they managed to sweep St. Joseph's 4-0 on Friday for their first conference win of the season, improving their record to 7-10. Standouts this match were Naomi Lalonde and Denise Arez-Guiarte, who both managed to win their games without losing a set. The Dukes will look to keep their momentum as they move into the postseason with their first game against Dayton at 4:30 tomorrow.
The Duquesne lacrosse team fell to George Washington on Saturday in their final road game of the season. The Dukes would get the opening goal, but George Washington would respond with 5 goals and never look back from there, as they would go on to win 19-8. Despite the loss, Chloe Holmes recorded a hat trick in the first half, and Grayson Emerson continued her program record-breaking season, notching 2 assists, to bring her assist tally to 61 on the season. The Dukes will look to end the season on a high note this Saturday as they play top-ranked Virginia in the final game of the season.
Last Tuesday, Duquesne competed in the ITC Championship to wrap up the season. The Dukes notched 4,333 pins in the qualifying round to gain a number 8 seed in the tournament, but were eliminated after a loss to Central Missouri put the Dukes in a must-win elimination game against Maywo, which they would lose 4-2. The ITC Championship winners were Jacksonville State, who defeated North Carolina A&T in a 7-game series.
Now, let's head over to Kylie Crocus with this week's weather.
Thanks, guys. So let's take a look at this weather while we head into summer vacation. Starting tomorrow, NFL draft. It's going to be partly cloudy with a high of 82 and a low of 59. So it's great weather to go see the Philadelphia Eagles set up their dream team to take them to the Super Bowl next year. Awesome. Moving into Saturday, starting off the weekend, 73% chance of rain with a high of 65 and a low of 48. So we're starting to drop in temperature a little bit. Ending the weekend off on Sunday, it's going to be partly cloudy skies with a high of 66 and a low of 49. Moving into Monday to start the week off, partly cloudy skies with a high of 73 and a low of 57. Moving into Tuesday, we're going to have a 76% chance of rain with a high of 69 and a low of 51. Moving into Wednesday on reading day, I believe, we're going to have partly cloudy skies with a high of 68 and a low of 48. Nice day. Go study outside and get ready for those finals. Ending off the week on Thursday, moving into finals, it's going to be a 37% chance of rain with a high of 64 and a low of 47. Moving over to our friends in Rome, Italy. Sunny skies, lots of sunny skies setting up our friends in Rome for the summertime. On tomorrow, they're going to have sunny skies with a high of 72 and a low of 47. Moving into Saturday for their weekend, sunny skies again with a high of 76 and a low of 50. Moving into Sunday to end off their weekend, another high of 76 and a low of 52. I'm getting really jealous. It's been a little chilly over here recently. Moving into their week on Monday, sunny skies again with a high of 76 again and a low of 54. On Tuesday, partly cloudy skies with a high of 75 and a low of 55. Moving into Wednesday, partly cloudy skies with a high of 74 and a low of 57. And going into Thursday, a 36% chance of rain with a high of 73 and a low of 56. Ending off with our friends in Dublin, Ireland. I'm seeing no rain for them next week. This is insane. Last stream of the year and there's no rain in Dublin. Moving into tomorrow, sunny skies with a high of 62 and a low of 41. Saturday to go into their weekend, partly cloudy skies with a high of 64 and a low of 46, so it's not looking too bad. Sunday to end off their weekend in Dublin, they're going to have partly cloudy skies with a high of 64 and a low of 46. Moving into Monday, partly cloudy skies again with a high of 63 and a low of 46. Tuesday, partly cloudy skies with a high of 62 and a low of 47. Wednesday, partly cloudy skies again with a high of 60 and a low of 47. They really love consistency over there in Dublin, I can tell them that. And Thursday, partly cloudy skies with a high of 61 and a low of 47. So that's all our weather. Have a good summer and back to you guys.
Thanks, Kylie. The Pitt Jam Fest brings the AAU talent from all over to compete at the highest level of competition. I was there with more on the event. What's up? It's Brendan Flato here at the Hoop Group Pitt Jam Fest. Let's go check it out. Over 600 of the top AAU teams across all age groups in the country traveled to Pittsburgh for this three-day tournament. The event filled the David L. Lawrence Convention Center with over 40 basketball courts. The tournament saw a variety of teams like All Hail B-Ball, who drew a big crowd for their games, to just teams where players are just trying to make a name for themselves and impress college coaches. I had the chance to cover the event for a couple of different teams, so let's check out the top plays that I saw.
Thanks, Brendan. The Pittsburgh Pirates hosted the Tampa Bay Rays on April 18th. The game was significant due to there being a Paul Skeens Y Young Award. Everyone who attended was guaranteed a bobblehead reporter. Tanner Mao was there to take in the atmosphere and do a little review of the bobblehead to see if it holds up to the last time a Pirates did a night like this.
On Saturday the 18th, I decided to go to the Pittsburgh Pirates game featuring Paul Skeens' bobblehead night.
Way to go! Play ball and let's go, Bugs!
Last bobblehead night was very successful in terms of people really liked the bobbleheads. But a lot of them didn't get the bobbleheads considering they only made a select amount for the event. However, for this event, everyone who attended the game was guaranteed to get a bobblehead. And looking at the crowd, it was 100% a sellout. Unfortunately, by the 5th inning, the Pittsburgh Pirates were rained out. But it didn't stop the fans from cheering on the Buccos in hopes that they would come back relatively soon. The Pirates would continue to play against the Rays by 8 o'clock, where they would unfortunately go and lose. With that being said, I have the Paul Skeens bobblehead in my box still. Let's go and open it up and do a little review of it. Let's go over the bobblehead now, because I think that's the main reason why people went to the baseball game last game, and I really think it showed really well. I think the show up was pretty well, as you saw from all the footage I got. It was pretty packed, unlike what some people think PNC Park nowadays as being a desolate wasteland. Let's go right to the bobblehead right now. All right, here's the bobblehead box. It has a really cool design to it. Like, if you could just see, like, it has the whole Skeens doing all the pitching, doing his pitching motions. It has a little kind of intro or things right there. It says Skeens is the third pitcher in Pirates history to take home the Cy Young Award, honoring Verlaw in 1960 and Doug Derbick in 1990. It's really cool. It's really cool. It shows a little history. It shows all the stats, and obviously it has the Skeens. Obviously has a Skeens signature right there, and the Cy Young National League Award winner. So let's open the box up. It's a little bit destroyed because of the rain last night. All these bobbleheads have a bunch of styrofoam in them, as you can tell. So it's going to be. I think it was protected relatively well from the elements. Here's the Skeens bobblehead. Got the Cy Young Award right there. Got some of the sponsorship logos. You got on the socks. You got the one of the golden bridges we have here in Pittsburgh. I think it's a really cool bobblehead, and it's good that all customers, all people going to the game last night ended up getting something like this. So good on the Pirates. But yeah, I think it's Paul Skeens bobblehead. So it's a very interesting looking bobblehead, and again, glad to get my hands on one. From Voice of Duquesne Live, I'm Tanner Ma.
Thanks, Tanner. Now let's head to our pop culture segment to keep you in the know.
Thanks, guys. So we're back for our last pop culture segment of the school year. It's almost time for the summer.
I couldn't see. Sorry, I couldn't see. Something was in my eye.
Okay. Thanks, guys. So we're back with last pop culture segment of the school year. It's almost time for the summer.
Yes.
So, yes, getting warm out. We're ready for summer.
Thank
ready
God.
for a break from class. So in light of that, we're going to be talking about what's going to be happening this summer that we can't tell you about weekly.
All the things that you might miss if you don't watch us every week or if you don't watch this episode.
Because we won't be here to be telling you what's going on every week. So
exactly.
We're going to let you know ahead of time, just to make sure that you know what's going on.
So
there's a lot going on.
Yeah, there's a lot going on. We've only highlighted
just
a few things, but do you want to I can start. It doesn't
Go
matter.
ahead. Yeah.
So May 22nd, Star Wars: The Mandalorian and Grogu is coming out.
May 29th, the Backrooms movie is coming out.
The A24 horror
The
movie.
A24 horror movie Backrooms. I'm really excited for that
And
one.
then June 19th, Toy Story 5 is coming out. I don't know why they keep coming out with new Toy Stories.
Just
Just
more and
end
more.
it. Just end it.
July 10th, we're going to have a live action of Moana. A lot of people are really excited about this and the casting for it, so I'm really excited to see this live action.
And this next one, I'm actually really excited for. July 17th, Christopher Nolan's adaptation of The Odyssey is coming out. I'm really excited. The cast looks really stacked and really good. So.
And then July 31st, setting off July, we're going to have Spider-Man Brand New Day, which I'm really excited for.
Very excited.
I love Marvel movies. I love superhero movies. And a lot of people are really excited because they don't know what's going to happen in this one. Like, there's a lot that
There's
can
a lot
happen.
of speculation.
There's so many
conspiracy
different
theories, I
Spider-Man
guess.
adaptations, like comics, whatever, like different universes. Everyone's trying to figure out which one it's going to be.
Which Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man is the best one.
Okay,
I'll leave
whatever.
It at that. Okay. August 21st, there's going to be a new Insidious movie. It's called Insidious Out of the Further. It's the 6th installment of the series. I'm actually really excited about that because I love horror movies. So
I love horror movies too. Moving into music, on June 12th, Olivia Rodrigo's album called You Seem Pretty Sad for a Girl So in Love is coming out. A lot of people are really excited about that. She had her single come out. I believe it was called
Drop Dead.
Drop Dead. Yeah. A lot of people really like it. I think it's more like a sadder song, right?
I wouldn't know.
Okay, that's fine.
I haven't gotten into listening
That's
to it
okay.
yet.
But a lot of people really like it, and a lot of people are really excited for the album. So I'm looking forward to seeing how it looks. So, yeah.
And then June 12th, also the same day as Olivia Rodrigo's album dropping, Sublime's going to drop a new album called Until the Sun Explodes. So, all you Sublime fans, make sure you tune into that one.
A lot of people aren't really excited for it because it's not, the
No.
lead singer. I'm pretty sure I don't know, but it's a new sound than the old Sublime. So we'll have to see how that looks.
Yeah.
The new Sublime. It's the new era of Sublime, so we'll see. And then on June 26th, The Strokes are dropping an album called Reality Awaits. I know a lot of Strokes fans are excited for that.
Yep.
That'll be exciting. And then
and then we have Lana Del Rey's Stove album.
To be
It's called
determined.
Stove. Yeah, we have it as TBD because I'll believe it when I
TBD.
see it, Lana. I'll believe it when I see it.
there's no official release date. She just said, yeah, I'm going to drop it. Gave
Yeah.
us a couple singles.
She did come out with a new single for, I think it's a James Bond movie.
Yeah.
Or like a new James Bond movie. It was actually pretty good.
It was good.
It kind of gave me,
James Bond.
well, yeah, but it kind of gave me like honeymoon album
Yeah.
vibes
Yeah.
a little bit.
Moving into TV shows, we're going to have May 15th, The Rivals Season 2 is coming out on Disney+.
I'm so excited. I'm
Rivals
so
fans,
excited.
check out that.
And then in June, there's no specific date yet. We double checked. But I'm also excited for this one. House of the Dragon Season 3 is returning to HBO Max. Yep.
It's
Um,
Go ahead.
Team Black all the way. I don't like the high towers. Boom.
June 11th, Sweet Magnolia Season 5 is coming out, and that's going to be their final season. That's on Netflix. So if you like Sweet Magnolias, check that out because it's the last season, so that
Yeah.
show's ending.
And then June 25th, the live action Avatar The Last Airbender Season 2 is coming out on Netflix. I'm not too into that, but I know a few people who are, and people
Yeah.
seem to be excited. So,
Yeah, that'll be really
Yeah.
interesting.
Kudos
and
to you.
exciting. So lots of stuff going on in
Lots
the
of
pop culture
stuff.
industry. I'm sure there's more that we don't even know about. Will Lana drop? Will Lana not? What's
I
going
pray
to
to God.
happen? What's going on? There's some speculation in other areas of this person might be dropping and this person this. We don't know. This is what we do know.
Oh, also, I forgot to mention, Drake is dropping an album May 15th.
May 15th, the Drake Iceman.
Iceman.
They melted the ice block. We weren't even supposed to know.
Champagne Poppy.
And some streamers went and he had this ice block kind
Yeah.
of thing, and it was like this big statue, and they said
They
under
were
it
just,
was
like-
the release date. So people
were, like, banging
went
on
to
it
town. They're like, we
with
want to
a
know what Drake is
sledgehammer.
dropping. May 15th, Drake is dropping. Lots of people are dropping movies, TV shows, music.
Mm-hmm.
Check it out because we know you're going to miss us. And we're just letting you know the pop culture before we can't tell you the pop culture every week.
Yep, you
So-
gotta wait till August, September.
August, September. So I'm Kylie.
I'm Halen. This is
Have a great
Pop
summer.
culture
Back to you guys.
okay.
Thanks, guys. Students took a break from their busy schedules on Friday afternoon to relax and get creative at Paint and Sip, an event hosted by Commuter Affairs in Union 119. The event, held from 1 o'clock to 2:30, invited students to enjoy a laid-back painting session while sipping on free lemonade and enjoying snacks. All painting supplies were provided, making it easy for anyone to participate regardless of skill level. The event created a comfortable space where students could express themselves and connect with others. Many attendees enjoyed having a chance to step away from schoolwork and unwind, even if just for a short time. Events like this offer a simple way for students to reduce stress and take care of their well-being during a busy semester. Organizers emphasized that the event was open to everyone and meant to be a welcoming space. Whether students came with friends or on their own, they were encouraged to relax and have fun. With free food, free supplies, and a positive atmosphere, the Paint and Sip event was a successful way to bring students together and give them a creative break in the middle of the day. Commuter Affairs, who hosted the event, has a few more events in the final weeks of the semester, such as free PB&Js every Wednesday at 1 p.m. in the Union, the end-of-year picnic on Thursday, April 24th, and making community care bags.
The semester is rounding out, which means the weather's getting nicer. Students are flocking to the outside and with some music to keep them company. Reporters Kylie Crocus and Halen Norderer went to go see what music students chose to keep up the vibes.
Hi, I'm Kylie,
And I'm Halen.
and you might have seen us on Pop Culture, every week telling you the pop culture, but today we're taking pop culture to the streets. Let's go find out what music people are listening to, what's getting them in the mood to get through finals and ready for summer. So, what song are you listening to right now?
I'm listening to I Love It.
Awesome, okay.
So, what song is getting you guys through finals week?
Oh boy. Fireside by the Arctic Monkeys.
I don't know. Anything by Billie Eilish.
Okay, good choices.
Okay, so what are you listening to right now?
I'm listening to Baby by Marina.
Baby by Marina. Awesome, that's it, thank you. You're fucking.
Okay. What song is getting you through finals week?
I would say anything by Don Toliver.
Okay, solid.
Okay, so what are you listening to right now?
I'm making my composition final for music composition.
So music has music finals too.
Okay, what's a song or an artist getting you through finals week?
Any Drake song ever. Okay, so our question is, what's one song that's really getting you through, finals week and the end of the school year?
I would say Waves by Kanye West.
It's a great song.
What song is getting you through finals week?
I've been listening to Drop Dead, the new Olivia Rodrigo song.
Okay, new single.
So what song is getting you through finals week and the end of the school year?
Probably Pushing It Down and Praying.
Awesome, Lizzie McAlpine. So what song or music artist is getting you guys through finals week and kind of helping you push through the end of the school year?
I'd say There For You by Damien Jr. Gone Marley.
Okay. I'd say really anything by Janae Aiko right now.
Awesome, thank you so much. Awesome, okay, I definitely have some more songs I gotta check out in the near future. Yeah, so let's listen to some music, relax, and push through finals, and have a great summer. I'm Kylie.
I'm Halen.
Signing off.
Thanks, guys. Our Betsy Bodwin sat down with the Assistant University Librarian, Tracy Baylock, to dive into the services Gumberg has to offer in Tracy's life inside and outside of Duquesne.
Thanks, guys. Today I'm here with Tracy Baylock, the Assistant University Librarian for Collections and Metadata Services here at Duquesne. So, when did you start at Duquesne, and what was the library like when you started?
So, I actually was a student here in 1987. I was a psych sociology major. I graduated in 1991. But during that time, I worked in the library. That was my work study position. So then when I graduated, I left, and I was working at a place called Vintage Incorporated. I was working with senior citizens, which I thought was what I wanted to do forever. And then back then, my boss, Dr. Puglisi, he was actually in charge of the library at the time, kept calling and saying, you should come back and go back to school. So I started back here June 6th of 1992. I wasn't even gone a year. And I start working full-time in the cataloging department. So back then, when you wanted to do research or anything like that, you literally had to go into the card catalog. We didn't have any computers back then. We maybe had 2 or 3, but they were very specialized. Everybody pretty much had a typewriter on their desk. So that's how it was.
Yeah.
And every floor was just filled with stacks of books. I mean, even the 4th floor, we had our whole reference collection up there. So that's what it was like back then.
Yeah, and you kind of already touched a little bit on this, but what were the primary services of the library when you first started, and definitely in comparison to what the library uses for services today?
So back then, when you walked in, the reference librarians were just sitting at the desk. They were waiting to help you find the books or, whatever you needed back then. There was not anything electronic. They would help with research. So that was a lot of, and back then we did do interlibrary loan as well. Like if we didn't have something, we would get it from another library. But back then you couldn't eat or drink or any of that stuff in the building. So then, over the years now, we have moved everything mostly. We do still purchase print format, but we try to stay e-preferred, which is better for the students. Because then that way, we're not open 24/7, but if a student decides they're going to work on a paper at 2 in the morning, they can just go to the electronic resources and they're available 24/7 from anywhere as long as you have your multipass.
Yeah, and what are some of the services at the library that you think students should know about?
So I think it's really important that students know that now the library is a lot more than just books and even the electronic resources. So anymore, it's more a space. I think we're trying to make it the place that people want to come and study. So, but some of the collections that we have that are unique now is, so we have our Library of Things. In the Library of Things, you could take a sewing machine, you could check out a sewing machine, you could check out a bubble machine, Nintendo Switch, games, things for arts and crafts, things that maybe students don't want to have to purchase themselves, we have available. Like, I don't know if students realize if you're going to an interview, you could check out a Duquesne tie to wear to the interview.
Oh, really?
Things like that. And the other thing, so about a month ago, I was in the elevator and there was a student ambassador taking students around that were interested in Duquesne. And one of the things I heard from the corner of the elevator was, oh yeah, the library can't always get you what you need. And I was like, excuse me?
Yeah.
And I felt bad because the student was a little bit taken back that I was there. But we have what we call our suggested purchase form. And none of the students in the elevator with us realized. Through that form, students can they can request that we order anything that they would need. Sometimes we can't always get textbooks, and that's because the publishers won't allow us. But for the most part, we really try to get anything that the students would need. And the same thing goes for, we have popular reading, we have our McNaughton collection, so we ask if students want to request things there. Even for the Library of Things, we've had students request things for that. Additionally, we have some really unique collections. If you're in the Curriculum Center, we have our Phenomenology Center. And even the University Archives, a lot of faculty now are bringing students over to some of these places, which is great. We also have our digital resource. And the other thing too, we're trying to work more with faculty on open education resources, which students don't always understand what that means, but we're trying to make your textbooks more affordable. So we're working with some faculty right now where they're literally writing their own textbooks so that way students don't have to purchase them. We also work with faculty. We ask them to send us their syllabus, and then we go through and see if we have the journal articles, the books, anything. And if we don't, we try to get them electronically so that if students don't want to have to purchase some of the materials, then we have them available for them. So
Yeah, that's awesome. And as information seekers, or better known as students, begin to use online tools to research topics, how has the Gumberg Library accommodated the new search habits?
So there's different ways that students can try to find resources through Gumberg. So we have the Duke search, which it's more like a Google search. When students do that, you're going to be able to pull up articles, videos, books, ebooks, and print. Any of those resources will come up in one search. And then there are ways that you can there's facets, so that if you want to narrow it down, because it's a lot, just like when you Google something, it sometimes can be overwhelming. But then we also have our database page. So we have students that they already know I'm a psych major, and I use this database when I'm doing research for this class because it's all psychology based or medical resources. So there's different ways that students can get at the resources. So we are trying to create, especially since everything's all electronic now, that it's more of a feel that students are used to when you're out on the internet.
And you're somebody perfect to ask this question. What is metadata services?
So it's funny because metadata is actually data about data. Metadata is how we make all of the information discoverable behind the scenes. So we actually have one of the librarians that works for me. She is our metadata cataloger. So when you're doing those searches, there's a lot of information that's behind the scenes, and that is how you're able to find things with title, subject, things like that. So that's what the metadata is, and it's not just for libraries. So there's metadata when you're out searching the internet. There's metadata behind your searches, and that's how you're able to discover what you're looking for.
And the library is both a physical place and a vast online resource. How have both evolved, and what's planned for the future?
So, as you know, we have been paring down our print footprint in the library. And I know that some people, aren't happy with that. But what is there is the resources that should be there. And we are still adding to our physical collections. But by doing this, we've been able to open up a lot of space for students. So now we have more group study and collaborative spaces. But also on the lower floors, on 1 and 2, we've been able to create nicer spaces for individual study, quiet study. I don't know who was always aware, but over the summer we actually have another large project that's going to be happening in the library up on the 5th floor. So the space where the previous curriculum center was located up there, that whole wall is going to be coming down, and more natural light will be coming in, and so we're going to be creating new spaces there with newer furniture. And as you can see, we're trying to get furniture that is for students of today. So we try to get power where you need it, more comfortable spaces. We're trying to create spaces where there's just a lot of different options for students. And I think we're going to just continue to do that. I think whenever possible, if we can freshen up a space or update something, and just make it a place where students want to come and study or connect or feel supported. I just feel like we'll just continue to do that moving forward.
Yeah. And how's your job changed since during your time at Duquesne?
Okay, so it's changed a great deal because when
Yeah.
I first started, we did not have electronic resources at all. Everything was physical resources. And at Duquesne, the librarians, we've always been considered faculty, but back in the early 2000s, we actually created a promotion path for us. So we are considered non-tenure track faculty. So since the early 2000s, we've been more focused on scholarship, service, and librarianship. So those are the three areas that's how we get to our promotion paths when we decide that we're going to go up. So now I do a lot more as my job has evolved. Like I have actual book chapters that I've written in scholarly articles. I've, gone to national conferences where I've presented with colleagues, things like that. And then on campus, I am on a lot of committees. So I actually am on Faculty Senate. I've been on the university's Graduate Council for many years. And right now I'm on one of the retention committees. So I'm very passionate about those kind of things as well. For example, with retention, it's nice because then I feel like the students have a voice in certain areas. I'm also the faculty advisor to the Graduate and Professional Student Council on campus. So historically, our department, collection management, would have normally been considered part of what we called technical services very long time ago. And we were very behind the scenes. You did not see the people that worked in those departments. But now we engage a lot more with students, even with the faculty. So I enjoy that a lot more.
And Bill Zolkowski told us that you have a new role with the Women's Guild.
Yes, he did.
And first, can you tell us about the Women's Guild and the kinds of things they do and have done for the Duquesne community? And what are some of the things they're doing now, or what is your role in the Women's Guild?
Okay, so I'm going to start. So last summer, I was actually honored to be voted in as the president of the Women's Guild for the next
Congrats.
2 years, so thank you. So the Guild was actually founded in 1928 by mothers of students that were coming to school here, and they wanted to support the university and build community. So back then, they started with a pink geranium luncheon to raise money. Today, we continue that mission. We raise funds for a student scholarship that we award, campus ministry, and some student organization events. Our biggest fundraisers are our annual Spring Fashion Show Luncheon, which is going to be held this year on May 17th. There, we focus on, additionally now, we've been trying to really grow the membership. So we're focusing on creating connections across campus through different events. So sometimes we get together, we'll do crafting. So the crafts that we make we sell them at the fashion show. And we also, at Christmas, we have a loaded Christmas tree. So like this past November, when we had the loaded Christmas tree, and all of this is donations from our members. So the loaded Christmas tree this year had over $800 worth of gift cards, raffle tickets, scratchies, things like that on it. So, and we also at that time sell some of the crafts that we make. But we also do fun things. So recently we got discounted tickets for Wicked, and a group of the women went to see Wicked. Sometimes we'll do a happy hour, and at that point I'll invite different people like from facilities. So we try to get the guys involved, and it's like, oh, come join us for happy hour. And I can say right now, we are trying to see if students would be interested in a juniors women's guild. So that's something that some of our newer members are working on right now.
Awesome. And you've been at Duquesne for a while. As we move into a new president, a new provost, what are some things and values that have remained at Duquesne that has kept you here?
So I would have to say over the years, it's the people and the mission. I think to be here, most of the people here seem to genuinely believe in the mission, which when you boil it down, it's serving God by serving students. So I feel very fortunate that in my role, I feel like I'm able to support students and faculty in regard to the mission. Even though a lot of what I do is behind the scenes sometimes, with collections and creating accessibility to resources, but then also through my work with the Graduate and Professional Student Council and all the committees that I'm on, I just feel like I have a lot of connections, and that makes me enjoy wanting to come to work, actually. So I do think that there's a lot, the community has always been important to me.
Yeah.
So, and you don't always find that in higher education, colleagues that work other places. And I've had friends that have left here and they'll say, oh, I miss the community at Duquesne. So I think that's what's kept me here. It's been meaningful. The students are really important to me. So whenever I can do something, like we even have in our department, I have 4 students that work in our department, and it's nothing for them to text me. Like today, one of them was texting me jokey stuff. So yeah, those are the kind of things that keep me coming to work every day.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you for answering my questions.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Of course.
So,
and back to you guys.
Thanks, Betsy. Now for Provost Dossey's academic insights. Spot surveys are now open. Students can complete spot surveys for Term 2 and full term courses. Surveys are available to complete until April 28th. Read the Spring Benchmarks Assessment newsletter. The 2026 edition of the Office of the Provost Benchmarks Assessment newsletter is now available on the Duquesne portal. Read this edition for updates on the Duquesne Assessment program, the re-expression of the Bridges Global Learning Outcomes, and our ongoing preparations for the MCHE Accreditation Review.
Finals are approaching, which means that this is our final broadcast of the spring semester in the 2025 to 2026 academic year. Our news producer Morgan Carr reflects on what the inaugural year of VODL has brought.
Thanks, guys. This has been quite the inaugural year for the Voice of Duquesne Live and the Duquesne Student Radio. Now, as we sit here, we look back, we now have over 3,000 viewers, we have 15 staff members, and the Student Radio won the Organization of the Year award at the SOLSA Awards. It was very exciting and just shows how much hard work has really been put into VODL over the academic year. There has been special live broadcasts of the Night of Lights, all to our alumni around the world, not just here on the Bluff. And then we covered the election night right here in Pittsburgh, even having people like President Ken Gormley come on to talk and even announce the Duquesne alumni mayor, Corey O'Connor, who won. Then we had a first ever SGA presidential debate live streamed right here in this studio. It has been such a year for innovation in news and media here on Duquesne's campus, and we cannot wait to do so much more. Thank you for watching every week, and be sure to find us back in the fall.
Thanks, Morgan. I'm Madeline Grolman.
I'm Brendan Flato. We hope to see you all again next fall.